Hey guys, this is Rails and Racing's Productions here, and this is a different type of video that you'll be seeing today. Well, this is being recorded on December 30th, so just the day before the final day of the year of 2023, but I want to do a little something different for my last video of the year, unlike what I've done for the past, 5 years on this channel, since 2018. I actually want to do a little something different. Today, I'll be showing the top 10 trains of 2023 that I've seen for the past 12 months. So, from January to now, December, we'll be showing the top 10 trains. Keep in mind that some of them, about four of them, will be shown in pictures because, well, I got my camcorder in July, and I was having issues on transporting the videos from my tablet to my phone to then put them in here. So yeah, you'll be seeing that right there. But yeah, and these are just the top 10 trains of the year. So yeah, four of them will just be on photos, and the other six will just be from the camcorder. So yeah, hope you guys can understand that there, but since I'm using my camcorder now to film these trains, you'll be seeing that from now on with my videos. Anyways though, let's get started with the top 10 trains of 2023. So starting off with number 10 on this list, we have BNSF 5869 leading a freight train through Heidelberg, Texas. So yeah, this is number 10 on the list. Reason why I decided to put on here is because, well, although this was my second time seeing a 25th anniversary unit, reason why I put it on here is because this was the first time I got to see one leading, which this was taken back in September on Labor Day. So yeah, and even had a BNSF H1 second in tow, which this freight train was actually bound for Oklahoma. So yeah, but yeah, I overall enjoyed seeing this one, and not to mention that on an earlier train I saw before this one, which was actually being led by a fake bonnet, which was BNSF 785, and also had another H1 in the conses. So yeah, but yeah, just this one though, it was at least a good train, at least to say the least. Though I was at least glad to get this train here. So yeah, this though is number 10 on the list. So yeah. But we still got more trains to go here on this list, and yeah, I'll even play a little clip here of the train going by with the sound. So yeah. Anyways, let's move on here. Now we're at number 9 on this list, and in 9th place, we have Amtrak 203 on the Texas Eagle. Now, I managed to get this engine about 8 times, although not once leading. I at least got to see it a handful of times. And this video clip you're probably seeing here, I believe this was taken in late July, I believe. Yeah, I'll have to look back on it, but yeah, overall, although I did not get to see 203 lead the Texas Eagle, it was at least nice to see it on the train, since this was the very first time it got to come on the Eagle, since apparently from what I heard, it got dropped off on the Sunset Limited, and then was put on the Eagle for about 5 weeks perhaps. So yeah, actually maybe it was maybe 3 weeks, but yeah, overall though, it was at least it was at least good to see this engine overall. So yeah, but yeah, even though of course it didn't get the lead, it was still at least nice though that it managed to come on the Eagle. Hopefully though, if it comes back in 2024, hopefully maybe it can lead. So yeah, anyways, and I'm just gonna play the little clip of 203 here, and we'll move on to number 8. In 8th place on this list, we have Amtrak 160. That this picture you can see right here was taken when it was leading the Eagle back in May. Now, I managed to see 160 like what, 6 times this year. However, one of them was not on the Eagle because that was actually taken back in April when it was actually on the Southwest Chief trailing second. That was when I was on my trip that time, so I managed to see it on the Chief, even though it was early in the morning and it was not leading. But 160 though was probably my favorite 50th anniversary unit, just because I like its colors. So yeah. But yeah, this picture was taken back in May when I was leading the Eagle for the first time, and in fact when it was first ever on the Eagle. But yeah, although I did see 160 then later on in the summer trailing second, this one photo here will just be it on the list here, since I just feel like only including on here because I would it's like I would think it was more nice for it to lead because of course it's a nice engine. But yeah, I mean that's though number 8 on the list. So let's move on to number 7. And here we are at number 7, and this one's kind of a surprise one. Well, maybe it would end up on the list anyway. But number 7 on the list, we have NJT 4548, which from what I remember, this was actually apparently on MLDNL. So yeah, which is of course one of the trains in my area. But yeah, just this one I still remember. Like this one I was still filming on my tablet because of course I didn't have the money to get my camera back in July. So yeah, but yeah, this still was pretty much a surprise one since I didn't know it was coming. I mean, I knew it was actually um in San Antonio around that time because it was at a test center. But this was really nice to see since, of course, NJT is super rare to see in Texas since they mainly operate in New Jersey, since, of course, that's New Jersey Transit. But although, yeah, just this one is number 7 on the list. But yeah, just it was at least really cool to see this engine since you never know when you're just gonna see this again. I mean, heck, it was even on a flatbed, since of course, like they didn't put it onto the tracks. Like, I think it was new around the time, but I don't really know. But yeah, though, I mean, this is number 7 on the list. So yeah, just still really cool that this managed to come through. So yeah, but anyways, though, now let's move on to the 6th one. And here we have number 6 of the list. We have a BNSF OCS train that I caught in Temple earlier this month. Now, a reason why it ended up onto the list, well, it was because this was the first time I ever got to see a BNSF OCS train since, of course, I live on a UP line, and this was actually heading to Eagle Pass to discuss the brand new intermodal train that runs the Eagle Pass. So yeah, but I caught this though entering Temple. I mean, me and a friend of mine were gonna catch it leaving Temple, but apparently I think it tied down for a little while, so we didn't see it leave, but we did see it enter town, which was really nice. So yeah, it was at least great to see this year since again you never know when's going to be the last time you'll see one of these trains. So it was at least nice to see one of these BSF OCSs for a change, since all the OCS trains I've seen were UP. But yeah, but with that said though, now we're entering the top 5 on this list, so I'm just going to play a little video clip of the OCS here, and we'll get to number 5. And here we are in the top 5 on this list, and in 5th place we have Union Pacific 6379, or as I should say, a Southern Pacific locomotive. Yes, I can see by the photo, this is a patch UP locomotive with Southern Pacific paint leading a train. This was the very first time I got to see one of these lead, since of course it's rare for it to happen, but this was on MLDNL, which had an NS mid DPU. And fun fact, this was actually the last video with my old username that which this username you're seeing now is the current one. But of course, my recent username that I had for a handful of years was Union Pacific Fan 2000, but now it's been changed to Rails and Racing Productions, which you're seeing now. So yeah. So I mean, yeah, just that though. Yeah, this is fifth on the list here. So yeah, just it was really cool to see one of these here. Since I mean, two others had led trains through here before, like on separate trains that is, but unfortunately did not have the chance to see them lead since they were at night and either too late or I couldn't go. But yeah, it was at least really cool to see this lead, and hopefully next year I can get another one leading. But that just depends of if it will actually happen. So yeah, but now with that said, let's go to number 4. And here we have number 4 on the list, and this one is Norfolk Southern 8099 that was leading a grain train. So yeah, this was actually taken back in September too, and this was actually my 7th NS Heritage unit, but only my second one leading. This was actually when I was leading a grain train from Eagle Pass to I think Oklahoma. So yeah, this was really cool, especially since this was actually my second NS Heritage unit GEVO, since the other ones I've seen besides the first NS Heritage unit I got, which was NS 8025, the others I seen were the Ace ones. So yeah, so this though was my second time seeing an NS GEVO Heritage unit. This was the Southern Railway one, and it was really great to see this one since, well, if anyone remembers, it was involved in an accident in 2021. It was out of service for the entirety of 2022. So it was at least great to see this engine running again, and even in Texas, which hasn't happened in a very long time. So yeah, I mean, it was at least great to see this heritage units for the first time. So yeah, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll end up seeing it again. But yeah, now we're getting into the top 3 here. So once I play this little clip here of 8099, then we'll get into the top 3. And now here we are in the top 3, and third place goes to NS 1072 leading a coal train, which this was back in June, and this was the very first time I got to see an NS Heritage unit leading a train, since all the other ones I saw were either trailing or a rear DPU. But this was actually taken in Caldwell. I mean, I was going to see it in Milano, but unfortunately I couldn't get there in time, so we saw it in Caldwell. But it was really great to see an NS Heritage unit leading. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I was at least glad to see one of these lead for the first time. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I can say right there, that this was my first NS Heritage unit leading. So yeah. Anyways, now let's get to second place. And in second place on this list, we have this BNSF Temple Freight, but with a few old engines. So this is, I'm basically going to say this is a funeral train, which this had a bunch of Dash 8s and even a GP10 and a gen set locomotive. Now, yeah, just this would have been train of the year, but it's coming in second place on this list. So, yeah. But just this was a really cool train nonetheless, since it had a bunch of old engines. So yeah, I was really glad to have gotten to see this train. So yeah, but yeah, just that though is though number 2 on this list. So yeah, now we're just gonna get into number 1 on the list. But before, I'm gonna mention a few honorable mentions on this list. So let's get to them. I'm just going to mention the honorable mentions here. Just the honorable mentions that I didn't get on the list are NS 1071, 1066, 1073, then UP 1988 leading MLDYC, then also my first train on Cajon Pass, which not really special, but was kind of special for me since it was my first one on Cajon Pass. And also, not to mention, I had KCS on there, which was the final time I got to see a KCS as an independent railroad. And then BNSF 1074 and 698 leading a freight through Milano. Then 4641, I believe, on that freight in Hutto, which was MLDDI. So yeah. But nonetheless, though, let's get to number one on this list. And the number one train of 2023 goes to UP 1943 and 1979 on this OCS train I caught in Mumford and Valley Junction. Yeah, since basically these are 1943 is my favorite, yeah. And not to mention the last show was really great. So, yeah. Really glad to manage to get this train. So, yeah, this though is train of 2023 on my list, so it's number one. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this different type of video, since yeah, I want to do something different for my final video of the year. So yeah, once again though, this train is train of the year. So yeah, but hope for next year though to bring more great trains for next year. So yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in 2024 for more trains and NASCAR content. See y'all next year.